Yeah, I want to put something out here about destroying the beast. You know, the beast is basically big government, big corporations, you know. People are putting the thumbs down on the little people, right? And they always like, oh, it's us against the Illuminati. But I've been pointing out almost every single time you look at alternative media, alternative politician, they're backed by the big guys themselves. Now, really, why do people get the leaders? You know, we got these leaders that are screwed up. It's because we elect them. That's one reason. And also, how do big corporations get strong? How do big banks get strong? A lot of people participate in it. The way to actually break this is not to participate and give the power to the beast. Now, that is not that's maybe a little easier than you think to do, but you know what happens is when people see the truth or they see something, they get hit by Hollywood marketing and they run in the other direction. People can get led around by the nose all the time. And the other thing is, and this is words from the Satanists basically that like controlling people, if you want to put it this way. What are people are fearful of not knowing what's next. That's another thing people have. They got this inner fear of the unknown. So they like to be controlled. A lot of people like it that way because then they understand what's the next thing coming up and all this kind of crap. And that's exactly how people on the top control people on the bottom. People have an inner fear. The thing is, you have to be independent-minded and go back to old school. Now, I've been seeing a lot about this, big thing coming up about the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Pact, where, there's going to be all these different laws that are going to affect all these different countries where corporations can sue whole countries. They can sue private individuals for this, that, and the other thing. They can pretty much own you, right? But the way to fight the corporations is not to use them. And actually some of the best stuff, the way the old times were, is the best way not to use corporations. I've been talking about all these various alternative health things. Like, they're not alternative. They're basically old wisdom that's been around, that's been proven. When they make pharmaceuticals half the time, almost all the time, they come from the actual plant derivative. How many different things are there for baking soda, uses of baking soda, that you can throw away a gazillion products out there that they're bombarding you with advertising with, that you buy. In other words, these big corporations and these big power structures can be destroyed by a million different cuts. The little people can actually fight back against the Goliaths not like super easily, but they will have effect as in a collective. The thing is, don't have too much fear out there. That's the other thing, is because every time people are fearful, they get behind people like Alex Jones, David Icke, all this other bullshit out there that's not true. And all they're doing is pumping fear. They're not pumping you solutions. The actual solutions are simple. But, where I really blame is, more than anything, where you get into these predicaments where, there's people and big corporations on the top screwing everybody over, and it's all like, what are you going to do about it? You know what it really comes from? The people themselves. The people themselves. If I said, if you can use baking soda to brush your teeth or something like that or whatever, that's what they used to do. They used to use that commonly for like a gazillion different things. They used to use ammonia in the house for cleaning the windows. You didn't need to buy any special products or anything like that. It was ammonia with a tiny bit of soap. Way cheaper and all this kind of stuff. Coconut oil has a gazillion different uses for health and also like cleaning and all this type of stuff. If people see advertising on television or in marketing, they bite for the big products all the time, right? So what happens? It's like they get easily led astray, and it's not that difficult to do. So if you really want to starve the beast, per se, it's pretty simple. It's a lot of simple, small decisions that make the difference. I'm old school all the way. I realize that my small actions, I deliberately won't support major companies or major banks or anything like that any possible way. I go old school all the way, almost like halfway redneck or something, you know, in a true sense. And I do everything on my own deliberately for that reason. So, you know, this is actually the way you can actually fight back. When people start thinking Obama this or Obama that or whatever, you know, or whoever it is, George Bush this or George Bush that or Clinton or whatever, you know, it's not that the problem. It's actually the underlying problem is other things behind the scenes. You could say it's the Illuminati, it's the big businesses, it's, you know, the big money and all this type of stuff. But you not participating in that in all these different small ways, you basically starve him out. You starve him out. Now, I'm going to comment something which I think might be unpopular, but, you know, I see another angle on this Bitcoins deal that I don't like. You know, I wish I got it as a speculative bet because I'd already be unloading it. I'll say that. But right now, people are getting like, actually, I've seen people change their minds on it now and all this type of stuff that were naysaying it. That's another indication I'm thinking it's more dangerous. But there's been over 50 cryptocurrencies that came out in this year, and you know, besides, you know, WorldCoin or whatever the hell else is out there, Litecoin and all this garbage, Quarkcoin, and it's telling me that, you know, if people are being told they can get something for nothing, basically, or you know, get a lot more, and this is the wave of the future, they're going to very easily introduce the worldwide electronic currency very, very easily, I think, because people are actually going to demand it themselves. That's why Ben Bernanke kind of almost semi-endorsed his Bitcoins deal. Now, actually, if you have Bitcoins and you have, you know, say you have like $300 million sitting in the Cayman Islands in derivatives and you know how to get them, you know, do not know how to get them on shore and you got a major problem. Now, I think that would be a freaking great task for Bitcoins. You know, if you can transfer those derivatives into Bitcoins, get the money on shore, and then, you know, disperse the money into all various types of assets, you know, unknown. Now you're talking, you know, that's a cool freaking thing. But who the hell? That's not for your average person. That's for your average Illuminati. You know what I'm talking about? That would be pretty cool. And actually, on Bitcoins, they've actually had one transaction that was $145 million. I don't know what the hell that deal was, but that caught my attention. So, because I deal in some other weird shit sometimes, to tell you the truth. But I just want to say that, you know, no matter how much money you have, you know, I really don't like the people with a lot of money because I think they're, I don't know, I just something got against it. It's like they get into this, they think they're on cloud nine. You know, and I just personally don't like that type of stuff. So no matter how much money you have, you got to stay real. That's the whole point. Don't get too excited about investments or anything. And, you know, it's like when you get overexcited about an investment and like, oh, yeah, I'm going to put this much in, I'm going to get this much out of it. Usually that's when it's a bad play. That's usually when it's a bad play. And Sam Zell alludes to that type of stuff, too. And, you know, some of the guys that are actually make the most money are the most calm. That's another thing, too. Because, you know, it's like when you have people out there, you know, that are getting emotional, they're screwing up right away. The problem is, though, with the average, the making money and all this type of stuff, everybody is not just going to make money for nothing. It's actually productivity. It's actually working hard, and it's actually finding better methods of doing stuff. The thing is, you don't want to get ripped off. You don't want to get screwed over. And the problem is today, you got these big corporations. You got this freaking crap going on with Obamacare, with the unlawful tax that are going to have us on health insurance. The thing is, the way to freaking destroy this type of stuff is not participate in it. You actually have to go old school. There's not going to be a simple, fast solution. There's not going to be like, I'm going to get behind Alex Jones and he's going to save the world. I'm going to endorse Ron Paul. He's going to save me. You know, David Icke's going to save me. That kind of stuff ain't going to help you, because basically you're falling victim to basically the same kind of stuff the devils tell you. You know, they understand about people. People got this fear of the future and the unknown, and that's why they want to be led. Put enough pain on them, and they'll accept a safe situation. See, that's why you know, I'm actually balls to the wall with the freaking metals, man. Tell you the truth. You know, I'm a fighter. That's the way I look at it. I don't give a shit if it goes to $1. I don't give a shit if silver went to 20 cents. I don't give a shit. I really don't give a shit. I'm not going to partake in the bullshit. That's all there is to it. I play old school all the way. And I've always been like that, man. And actually, that kind of attitude has enabled me to gain more, and actually has caused me to actually, people I work for, make them a hell of a lot of money. Because sometimes it's that common sense type of reasoning where you perceive something and look at something simple that actually, you know, the professional talking heads don't look at. They don't look at. It's almost like you got to have a little bit of horse sense, redneck sense, and that type of stuff. Common sense, business sense, or whatever you want to call it. Keeping things simple. But people are looking for fast solutions, or they're too worried about something. They always fall into traps. And the way to fight the beast is just not to participate. Go old school all the way. You'll screw them up. You will screw them up. Now, I'm a little curious. I kind of diverged a little on Bitcoins because I'm kind of curious about, you know, how do you convert derivatives into Bitcoins? And then that would be cool. I'd like to know that. I would like to know that. But that's something I really can't put too much of a video on. So, but they, you know, considering that Bitcoin's actually transacted 145 million, it might be able to do the job. You know, it might be. But does that mean I'm going to change? No, not at all. Not at all. You never tell anybody shit. You never tell anybody shit. As soon as you tell somebody you got money, they charge you more money. Or they act different to you. You never tell them shit. That's the most important thing. It doesn't exist. It's just like you know, it's like a mountain. You know, you own the mountain. That's all it is.